Romelu Lukaku to Chelsea Football Club's announcement is pending. It is very much on the way. Reports this morning backing up what was said 2 or 3 days ago by ourselves here at the Terrace, that the delay now is more surrounding Inter Milan trying their best before Sunday to be able to secure a replacement. Chelsea have given them that time to get their ducks in a row, essentially, so they can look at replacements to appease the fallout of their fans, which is building momentum each and every single day, especially after the news yesterday that Lautaro Martinez may still be on the chopping block as well. But for Chelsea, they're looking to secure this signing and bring the 95 to 105 million pounds player, depending on what report you want to read, back to Stamford Bridge. The next player on that list, where the attention will go after this for Chelsea Football Club, will be fully and ultimately back to Jules Kounde. They have personal terms with the player agreed. Sevilla want to sell due to their situation. Jules Kounde wants to leave, and he has been a huge priority and a huge target for Chelsea for over 2 years, and Thomas Tuchel wants him in this summer. That's where the focus is going to move on to next. We're going to delve into that in a lot more detail for you. On top of that, we're going to speak Saul Niguez, and there could be another Michael Edwards masterclass in action here. We're going to witness something quite brilliant potentially here from Liverpool Football Club as well. Do me a big favor this morning and smash that like button right now. I want to see that thing jump past on this show at least 750 likes, and I want to see it flying up now as I'm talking to you live on the Football Terrace. The link for you to phone in has already been posted in the live comment section. But Lukaku to Chelsea, it is a done deal. The announcement of this agreement between the two clubs is pending. The player is predicted to be signing on the dotted line to make things cast iron and official on Sunday. Jules Kounde's next. The Saul Niguez deal is now massively open for Liverpool, even more so after the Barcelona situation. Hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe to the Football Terrace. Here we go. Welcome back to the Terrace. Good morning, one and all. How are we doing? I'll go to your comments first of all. David here. Morning all. Chelsea didn't need major surgery, just a striker really, and they have a good one in Lukaku, though not Haaland. United for Haaland next year. 1 week, people. I can't wait. Well, absolutely. The show goes on. The Premier League is returning very soon. And I love the fact, David, you're using our brand new Football Terrace emoji. It's available for all members now. The flaming Football Terrace crescent there. So if you want to be a member from as little as 99 pence per month, you can use those emojis as well. We have a poll running right now asking you guys to vote. And out of 10, Chelsea's transfer window when they sign Lukaku and Jules Kounde. These deals are both highly likely to happen at this moment in time. 53% of your vote is currently saying it's an 8 to 9 out of 10 window. And I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that. And we're going to start with the Jules Kounde situation today. That's where we need to start talking about. So, of course, there were reports that when this first broke, it was very quick and fast. There were multiple updates in the space of 3 or 4 hours, and it was very much felt that Chelsea Football Club were going to close this deal out within a matter of days. As I've already mentioned, some of the sources that the Football Terrace now uses, and we are very privileged to have access to, told us they felt that the deal was done. There were some formalities holding the situation up, and the formalities were Kurt Zouma. Kurt Zouma either deciding to go to Sevilla directly or go to West Ham, and the funds raised from that sale top up the cash element of the offer made by Chelsea into Sevilla, and the deal would be signed off. The agreement between the two clubs was very much of, we'll do one or the other. We're very confident it's all going to happen. So it's done. The situation still remains relaxed, although Zuma, of course, has rejected both clubs, essentially. In one way, shape, or form, he's rejected both clubs. So Chelsea have to now go back and reassess the situation. Like all football clubs, Chelsea need to balance the books. They need to remove players. Owners don't like paying for players. It's just the way it is. It's not very exciting for fans, but owners don't like to pay for players that are not heavily involved. And Zuma is not going to be heavily involved next year within the Chelsea setup. So they are looking to try and offload players before they go back in for Jules Kounde. That's more of a management exercise. But if push comes to shove, 99% sure that Kounde signs regardless. Chelsea do not want to miss out on this player. They've looked at him for so long. They've got a fairly clear run at him this summer, and they want to get the deal over the line. If you listen to the reports this week from Simon Johnson from The Athletic, of course, highly credible journalist, let alone Chelsea information, and he has said that he has been assured that Chelsea are going to sign this player. So when you add all these things together, and the fact that although, and I've openly admitted this because when we make mistakes on the football terrace, we address them like the adults that we are, and we were a little bit ahead of ourselves. Should have waited with the Jules Kounde news that we put out just to see if any snags were going to happen. Although the contact I have, I've spoke to him about it, and he said, "Why did you apologize? It's happening. I'm telling you, it's done." And I'm like, okay, but it doesn't quite work like that on Twitter. Twitter people get very angry. But anyway, that deal looks like it is going to close. It's going to be the next major focus. In fact, it's mooted that that's where the focus has already gone, because the Lukaku situation feeds into this nicely. And we're going to take your views on this in a moment. As I said back on the 4th, so 3 days ago now, that the deal was agreed between the two football clubs. The bid was accepted. How do I know that the bid between Chelsea and Inter was accepted? It's obvious. Because journalists were all saying, essentially, let's paraphrase this, but Chelsea are willing to put in offer X, and offer X would be acceptable by Inter. Or they wrote it the other way around. Inter want offer X, and we're reliably informed that Chelsea are willing to make offer X. How do the journalists know that unless either or both parties have confirmed that information? Now, if both those parties have confirmed that information, they've got to have had a conversation about it. Therefore, it's done. If Chelsea have said we're willing to offer X, and Inter go, if you offer X, we'll accept it. It's done. The deal is done. The only thing remaining is to make it all official at the end. And the official bit for fans now is the boring bit. Once the here we go's put out there, everyone switches off. They want to see the announcement video, but they don't really care anymore. So that's where that situation is. The Mail have reported this morning, this is coming from the Mail today, that the fee that Chelsea expect to pay is around 95 million this summer. They are inching closer to the agreement being announced, but Inter Milan are keen to secure a replacement before they sign off on the deal. And again, that's something that we reported at the same time. Again, through some of the connections we now have at the football terrace, that is what they told us. And the words I used were Inter seeking a replacement and managing the major fan fallout. Announcement delayed, but the deal is very much well and alive. And this is now being confirmed again, and it's going to be confirmed even more. And it's quite normal. Chelsea are relaxed. They're being supportive here of Inter Milan. And this is what football clubs do for each other. They don't want there to be kind of a tumultuous relationship between the two parties. They want to keep things as amicable as possible. But Jules Kounde has already become the major focus now of Chelsea, as the majority of their end of the deal to bring Lukaku back to Stamford Bridge is done and dusted. The announcement, as opposed to deal, in my view, is imminent for Lukaku. Kounde is going to be next, and Chelsea want to get him in before the start of the season. Whether he's fit to play the opening game or not is going to be another question, but they want him in before that to start their season full guns blazing. Chelsea fans, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on that situation now, please. Inter buying Zapata. That's the link. That's the name that's been spoken about. And ironically, if you want to call it irony, but the connection also is Tammy Abraham may be going to Atalanta. And this is why Arsenal have got to pull their finger out with whatever they're doing with Lautaro Martinez. And by the way, that deal in itself is not completely dead, as some people are suggesting right now. You only have to do your research and sometimes look outside just the sports reports and look at the business reports that are being produced, especially in Italy, about the situation with Inter Milan. And we'll touch on that a little bit later. But Jules Kounde is still very much on the agenda for Chelsea, very much a major target for Chelsea Football Club, and they want to get this done. Smith here, one of our members, says, Terry, Martinez deal is completely off, confirmed by Fabrizio himself. What's the backup plan? Look, what I'm going to say about this here, and don't take this as me having a pop at Fabrizio Romano, because he's goated. Why are you listening to one source, Smith? Fabrizio Romano 4 days ago said it was impossible for Chelsea to get, and I quote his word, the untouchable Lukaku. But why did Fabrizio say that? Because that's what Inter Milan told him. Inter Milan have lied to us all summer. They have lied to the world all summer. So why would we take this one as gospel? That makes no sense to me. To do that is highly illogical in our own minds. If someone's lied once, twice, 3 times a lady, why do I believe them on the 4th occasion? I never believe Dortmund when they say they won't sell. Something about them doesn't sound right to me. You know, I just didn't believe it. I didn't believe the Villa reports the other day that Jack Grealish was heavily considering rejecting Man City for Villa. Turns out he was only delayed. The deal was delayed because City didn't know about the buyout clause, and Villa were trying to find a different club because they didn't want to do business together. Jack Grealish at no point this summer has considered not going to Man City. We were lied to. Now, people can make mistakes in terms of what they say and do. I make mistakes every single day because I'm a human being. But it isn't a mistake when Inter Milan come out and say Lukaku isn't going anywhere. He's untouchable. He's gone now. Now, when you read some of the early reports, go back as far as February, do your research. Various reports say that they need to raise in terms of profit this summer through the sale of players over £100 million and reduce their salary, their player salaries by somewhere in the region of 15 to 20% minimum. They're currently, after Lukaku leaving, are going to reduce their salary outtake by about 16%. So when you listen and read to the initial reports, they haven't even hit their minimum targets yet in terms of players out. They can't get rid of Christian Eriksen that was on the chopping block because of his health situation, which is absolutely fair. They've lied to us on numerous occasions already. And there were big reports yesterday out of Italy that just haven't been picked up on. And they haven't been picked up on because a famous journalist hasn't reported on them. But we shared them this morning, Smith. And there's a report that's come out of Italy from a former employee of Damasio. And I was told about this yesterday, and then I spent the evening researching it, found these links, and started speaking about them. And Inter Milan chairman, Steven Zhang, told the board at Inter Milan at the end of last season, after they won the league, that all players are available for sale this summer if the right offer comes in. This is why Antonio Conte left. It wasn't 1 or 2. It was potentially 3, 4, 5 players, the valuable players on big wages. They were going to look to move on and replace with cheaper options. Now, that's my point to you, Smith, when it comes to the Martinez situation. And it's a long answer, but it needs to be long so there's clarity. Fabrizio is amazing. Fabrizio could be right. But to just say, that's it, it's off, it's done, without seeking any other information or ignoring all other reports, I just think it's scandalous of us as people. Like, we shouldn't be that silly. Read other reports. Is the deal going to happen? It's a very hard one for Arsenal. Is the deal off as of right now? No. Unless Arsenal Football Club come out and say we're not pursuing it, I don't believe it's off. This week, as per Dean Jones, this week was very, very pivotal. And a lot of people felt they had to get the deal done this week. But Peter O'Rourke still says this right. Money talks. The right offer could change things. There are other mooted reports across different platforms that a third offer is being prepared, or a third offer is going to be made, an improved offer is going to be made. And Arsenal wouldn't still be working and looking at this deal and feeling encouraged or hopeful if it was 100% that Inter Milan wouldn't sell. I still believe this is in Arsenal's hands. Put a sizable bid in. And also, you've got to think about it from Martinez's point of view. All their best players are leaving. All their best players are leaving. It's going to make him want to leave more and more, in my opinion. So I wouldn't say that it's dead as of now. That's just my view on things. They will sell Martinez along with Lukaku, is what said here. Listen, I don't know whether they will. I'm not claiming to know whether they will. I want to look at this from a logical standpoint. And logically, when I look at this, I don't buy into this unyielding, no, it's never going to happen approach. I never believe in it. I never believe in it, especially when a club is in such financial trouble. I just can't ever allow myself to buy into that notion. I almost feel like for some people, some Arsenal fans almost want it to be over so that it's not an Arsenal rejection. It's or an Arsenal failing. It's a case of, but he just wasn't available. I feel like some Arsenal fans are clinging to that because it sounds better from a PR point of view. We tried, but Inter refused. That's a really good story, isn't it? As opposed to he's still available and we just didn't want to bid the money. That's how my take is on this. I feel that when it comes to these deals that look highly, very, very difficult and high and unlikely to happen, people tend to veer off in that direction and play things down. Now, we're going to move forward now. I want to talk about Saul Niguez to Liverpool. Now, what's really interesting about Saul Niguez to Liverpool is I shared with the Football Terrace group chat, the panelists, that I was told last week that this week, it's like, what's the word I'm saying here? They were meant to be closing the deal off. And what's very interesting is what James Pearce said yesterday. James Pearce confirmed exactly what the Football Terrace has been telling you now for 4 weeks, that Liverpool have got no real issue with the transfer fee. That's a minor. By the way, don't expect Liverpool to try and push that transfer fee down if and when they get if and when they land a personal term agreement with the player. Liverpool Football Club will try and drive that price down again after it. It's what they do. It's what they're famed for. So I wouldn't be shocked or surprised to see that update come in. But Liverpool have been brilliant. Liverpool have been absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Because they believed, and it now turns out they were right to believe, that Barcelona were never going to close this deal off. I've always felt this was in Liverpool's hands. I've always said that if Liverpool offered the player the contract he wanted now, he would sign. And I still stand by that. But Barcelona look like they're in a position where they are not going to be able to sign Saul Niguez. Saul Niguez wants to get out of Atleti. They want to sell him. He's not going to feature much there next year. They've bought his replacement in already. This is going to force Saul Niguez into changing, unless Man United come in for him. And the only option is Liverpool. His base salary is going to have to drop. He is going to have to take a pay cut. We could be witnessing another masterclass here from Michael Edwards. Without a shadow of a doubt, this could be another masterclass that we're witnessing. Getting a player's wages to almost cut in half from base value, incentivize it to the max. When we win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues, and maybe you score over 10 goals a season, blah, blah, whatever it may be. I'm just throwing these out there, pie in the sky. Phenomenal business, I think, here by Liverpool. The deal has been advanced for a number of weeks now, but Liverpool have been biding their time. Liverpool have been reading the situation in football and felt, we think we can do this. Large reports that Paul Pogba is going to stay, and without Paul Pogba leaving, Man United are highly unlikely to go in for Saul Niguez. Atletico Madrid want him out. He wants to leave Atletico Madrid. Barca can't afford him. It leaves Liverpool. The player then needs Liverpool almost more than Liverpool need him from that standpoint. Liverpool can then play hardball and say, sign this deal. I think it's going to be a wonderful piece of business by Liverpool Football Club. I really do. I really, really do think it's going to be a wonderful piece of business by Liverpool Football Club. I can see that closing in. I can see that happening. No doubts about that in my mind whatsoever. Smith here says, I think the Martinez deal was always reliant on Laka leaving. Laka took part in media day yesterday at Arsenal. Don't think he will leave. So again, these are two very different things. you're bang on. Arsenal do need to sell and remove players before they buy. That's what's held up this deal. It's quite obvious for me. That is what's held up this deal. So from that point of view and that perspective, that's why I'm kind of like, and I want to make sure I get this right, really. That's why I feel like is it on or is it off from Inter's point of view is irrelevant. I think if Arsenal stick £65 million guaranteed cash down today in front of Inter Milan, they say yes. And I don't believe it stops the Lukaku deal. I believe they say yes. But PR is what PR is. And PR does what PR does. And Arsenal fans will try to protect their football club to the hilt. So it was never really on. It was reliant on too many things. Inter didn't want to sell. All these things negate responsibility away from the club. I.e., listen, Liverpool. I've said this about Liverpool when it comes to the Niguez situation. I don't think Niguez is making extortionate demands to be asked to be paid what he's being paid now. But Liverpool think they can drive this down. If it doesn't work for Liverpool, then their tactic hasn't worked. But it's in Liverpool's hands. Said that the whole time. Martinez to Arsenal is in Arsenal's hands. Maddison to Arsenal is in Arsenal's hands. Ruben Neves to Man United is in Man United's hands. Trippier to Man United is in Man United's hands. These deals are doable if they can even negotiate the deal they want, or if they pay what the vendor wants. They're doable because the players want to join. They're achievable. They're attainable. And if they're achievable and they're attainable, it's down to the buyer to get it over the line. That's the way this business works, ladies and gentlemen. It's the way it works. But what we love to do is twist it so we can make our clubs look brilliant all the time. And I suppose that's the nature of the beast as well. Jericho here says, when is your fantasy football? We launched that yesterday, my friend. So we launched that show yesterday evening. An amazing uptake from the Football Terrace view. I know a few of you had problems with signing up. We've already sort of fed this into the team. If you want to sign up, I'm posting actually now in the comment section the link for signing up and getting yourselves involved with Fan Team, our brand new partners on this. Remember, £1 million giveaway, top prize of £200,000 to be given away. We're going to take some of your calls now. I want to know what you're all thinking and feeling. Morning, Dinesh. I hope you're well, my friend. I hope you're doing good. Let's do some more of these comments here especially from some of our members. I love to make sure we're giving our members the attention that they so deserve. And make sure, members, you're using our brand new emojis as well. Our new emojis are great. Martinez has 2 years left on his contract. They will sell at the right price. Completely and utterly agree. And listen, they just will. They just will. At the right price, in my head, I think they will do it. Terry Grizz-Khan said yesterday, Henderson has signed a new 3-year deal and it will be announced soon. And he said he thinks Saul will be a Liverpool player. Yeah, look, Grizz and I have spoken privately about both those situations. And, Grizz does know people connected to Liverpool. And I know this because we know one of the same people. So I know that he knows people. And Saul Niguez is most certainly on. But Liverpool are just playing the waiting game. Terry, does Messi going to PSG mean Mbappe's leaving? It's interesting. The report said that it may make him stay. I don't think it's directly Messi joining that would make him stay. I think it's a case of, let's wait and see what it does to La Liga. I said yesterday, La Liga will still have excellent football teams in it. But La Liga is a brand. It just looks like it's on its arse right now. Mbappe might go through next season. Let's just see how Barca and Real Madrid look in the Champions League. How they look domestically, I don't think is going to really be the attraction for Mbappe, because they're nearly always 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 3 anyway. I think what Mbappe is going to look at is, what's the league saying? What's the viewing figures saying? What is the buzz like around it? Because if it ends up being a very unattractive prospect of a league, I don't know. I don't see the point of leaving PSG just now. The problem that you've got, so I think it's a hard one. Also, Messi's only there for a couple of years, 2, maybe 3 max. If Mbappe signs a new 5-year deal and then Messi leaves at the end of his 2 years and doesn't extend for that 3rd, Mbappe might be trapped there longer. I just think Mbappe is going to weigh up the options, see how it feels under PSG life under Messi, and then make his assessment as he goes into next year. Look, we might all be shocked and actually find that, Messi leaving might fix Barcelona. It could be give somebody else the chance to take up the mantle as a talisman. It could be all they need, but you need to get the replacements right. Of course, you had Eden Hazard going to Real Madrid to replace Ronaldo. Didn't work. They need to get these things right. But some reports are saying it could make him stay. Some saying it could make him leave. I'm really open-minded about it, Shrim. I really am. Make sure you've hit that like button this morning, please, my wonderful viewers and my wonderful subscribers of the Football Terrace. Let's get this past at least 750 likes while we're live on the air. As stated at the beginning, Jules Kounde is the next major focus for Chelsea Football Club after they announce and, of course, complete the signing of... what's the word I'm looking for? Now that they've completed the signing, or they will be completing the signing of Lukaku very, very soon indeed. Very, very soon indeed. That is what they're going to go and focus on next. Let's do some more of these comments here. Terry, why isn't City going for Messi? Why are they waiting for Kane to come back? They just signed Grealish. That's why. So yeah, that's it. That's it, really. Right, let's go to some of your calls here. First on the show with me this morning, Brian is here. Brian, welcome to the Terrace. Who do you support, mate? Hello, Brian. Whatever you're doing, Brian, we can't hear you. Try and call back, my friend. Edward is here with us now. Edward, welcome to the Terrace. What do you want to say? You're on mute if you're trying to speak, buddy. Okay, Edward's not ready either. We're going to go to Ahmed. Ahmed is now with us. Ahmed is a Chelsea fan. Give me your thoughts and feelings.
Hello, Terry.
Hello, mate. Yeah, what do you want to say, Ahmed?
I would like, first of all, to thank you for this amazing show. I've been watching you since a year ago, since the Lampard era. And it was such an amazing ride all year long, watching you and your streams with everyone in this show. I would like to also talk about and express my feeling how Chelsea are doing an amazing job, regardless of how it felt. Really, that it was really silent for almost like 3 weeks. I've been always like refreshing my updated news. Nothing popped off, and then suddenly the Lukaku deal came along, which really makes me happy as a Chelsea fan. Also, I believe that Lukaku will make us amazing title contenders. He's going to push our chances so much highly. I believe that he's the only signing that matters really for me. I believe in Jules Kounde's signing, taking it to the future of our defense later on. However, I feel really satisfied alone with Lukaku, and I really wish he is going to stay to he's going to be available for the Super Cup, which I hope. I'm trying my best and being optimistic about it till now. And I hope it works out before Sunday or at Sunday so he can be available. And yeah, thank you for having me, Terry.
Listen, my brother, listen, thank you for the kind words about the Terrace. I think all Chelsea fans should be enthralled and excited about Lukaku coming in. What I have been told, and I cannot share who's told me this because they'll kill me, but he just basically said, Chelsea fans look forward to Sunday. That's all he said to me. And I'm like, what? He said he won't even tell me the detail on it. So Sunday is when I think something formal is going to be official, is going to be announced. But what I am assured is that behind the scenes, it's all done, lined up, ready to... Remember as well, right? When you get the announcement, it didn't just complete. Announcements come... Do you get me? Like, that's going to sound like a warped example, but when I announced my deal with Snack, that was weeks, that was weeks in the making. Does that make sense? And it was done like days before we announced it. So yeah, it's fine, and everyone should be able to relax. He could be available for the Super Cup. I think registration is being done as we speak to make sure that's doable. But Ahmed, thank you very much for coming on the Terrace and having your say. I really appreciate that. Top really man. Thank you. Next on the show, we're going to have Jake. We've got Nick Toller to come as well. Some super chats first. Artem here, long-time member of the Terrace, says still need another CM. Hopefully, Tchouaméni. Yeah, the Tchouaméni one's interesting. It reminds me a bit of Man United's pursuit of Camavinga, where it just hasn't really progressed as we thought it would. Is there any updates on Martinez? We just spoke about that. Literally, I'm checking the timestamp here. About 20 minutes ago, we spoke about that. I'll just do another quick update because you've been so kind to put in a super chat. I don't believe the deal is off. There are major reports in the last 24 hours coming out of Italy that Stephen Yang told the board of Inter that they would sell multiple players this summer. Not just a Hakimi, not just a Lukaku, but all acceptable offers for big players would come in. The financial troubles are a lot deeper than they've let on. Now, I understand that some big journalists like Fabrizio have said that the deal is off. And I'm not here to try and discredit anybody. I'm not here to disrespect anybody. That isn't my way. But I think to consider it just completely and utterly off now without any kind of thought that the financial issues are still continuing or ignoring all other reports is unhealthy. When it was announced by Marca that Messi wouldn't be re-signing at Barca, it was scoffed at. 20 minutes later, everyone looked stupid. You know, when people were abusing Matt Law and Simon Johnson on Monday over the Lukaku deals, 2 weeks ago when Dean Jones said the Lukaku situation will be resolved within 2 weeks and Sunday will make it just under 2 weeks, he was laughed at and belittled to a point where one Chelsea aggregator channel told us that they wouldn't share that clip because they were like, oh, we normally share your clip. We can't share that one because Chelsea fans are just angered by it. That's why you can't just listen to one source. That's why you can't listen to one source. Open-mindedness is needed with all of these deals. We're going to go to some more calls here. We've got a few super chats to do first. Daly says Memphis Depay will be the man for Barcelona now. He very much could be, Daly. Or Mbappe sees himself as the saviour of La Liga. If United knock out PSG from the Champions League, people still want Poch. Man United, not Premier League favourites, but can challenge. Listen, if Poch doesn't win the league this year, I seriously say he's got to retire from football. He will never be able to live it down ever if he doesn't win the league this year. There's no doubt about it at all. Someone here says, sauce, I prefer brown sauce on bacon. I used to prefer red sauce on chips, but I actually now, when I have like chips, I like mayonnaise now. Or something I've started eating, like it's called like baconaise, like bacon infused mayonnaise. Very nice. Yeah, garlic sauce is always good. So yeah, all those things. There we go, my bro. Honestly, sauces are good. Hot sauce is good for certain things. You're going to see hot sauce challenge coming to the football terrace very soon as well. Cannot wait. Right. If anyone puts red sauce on a bacon or a sausage sandwich, we've got to have words, mate. It's brown only for that. And also, if you have egg or bacon in a roll or a sandwich, and you've got an egg in it, right? But the egg's runny still, and you put sauce in it at the same time. Oh! What's wrong with you? Philistines. Brown sauce on bacon only. Brown sauce on sausage only. Do you know what's really nice with red sauce, though? Peas. Like, put some red sauce with peas. Yeah, like green peas. Amazing. Yeah, let's see. David knows. Runny egg and sauce. It's more than a no-no. It's illegal. It's like having mint sauce with chicken. By the way, I did see someone do that. I was in a pub having Sunday lunch. See some geezer. Right, he had chicken. Do you know what sauces he had with it? Mustard and mint sauce, bruv. Mustard and mint sauce with chicken. Chicken, mint sauce, and mustard. That's one other thing you can have with sausage sandwiches, by the way, is mustard. So yeah, they're the sauces. Lasagna with sauce. The fuck is wrong with you, bruv? If your lasagna in itself doesn't have its own sauce built into it, then you or whoever cooked that food for you. I can't say bad things on here, but no. Sausages are nice with mayonnaise. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Mayonnaise with a sausage. A sausage! A sausage with the mayonnaise? When? When? How? No. What? On the sausage? A nice plump, juicy sausage with mayonnaise? But the taste fusion doesn't work. No. It's like diluting your orange juice with milk. Why would you do that? Oh, we've got one that's even worse. We've got one that's even worse here. No sauce! No sauce, Tim! Timothy! No sauce. My God. Make sure you hit that like and that no sauce. Someone said, what's red sauce? Red sauce is ketchup, tomato sauce, whatever. Jake's here with me. What do you want to say, mate? Hello.
I just wanted to say what a good few years that Chelsea will have coming up.
Yeah, absolutely, young man. No, you really will have. I think you've got Tuchel, you've got this great squad. What are you most excited about, Jake?
Probably Lukaku coming because he scored loads of goals for Inter Milan and he did well at the Euros. So and I think he will do good at Chelsea.
Yeah, I think he can do. He really wants to come back. He's absolutely in love with.
Where do you think Chelsea will finish this season?
Do you know what? If Man City do not sign a striker, you will win the league, in my opinion.
Do you think? Because I don't know if Kane's going to be going because he's going to turn up to training today or today. That's what they were saying. So I don't think he's going to be leaving.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting.
I think if he does leave, it'd be middle of next season. No, middle of this season or beginning of next season.
It's going to be very intriguing indeed. Listen, young man, enjoy your day, enjoy the season, and we'll speak to you again soon, Jake.
Cool.
Top man, thank you. Look after yourself, Jake. Top boy. Bless him. Top man there. Make sure you hit that like and that share button for us right now, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very important to the Terrace that you get that done. Terry, it's all gone really quiet with the Maddison situation. Yeah, it is because it's all being run via intermediaries. Again, I just wouldn't worry yourself. If you're an Arsenal fan, I just wouldn't be worrying about it at all right now. Next one that we're going to have Sunshine back on the show is very, very soon. But before him, Matty's now with me. Matty, what you saying, mate?
How you doing, Terry? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm very well indeed. What's on your mind, bro?
Well, to be honest with you, mate, I'm looking forward to the Kounde deal getting done because it seems like 2 weeks or so that we should have had it done and sorted. And hopefully, after the Haaland saga that we had all throughout the month or so, hopefully we'll be able to bag Romelu Lukaku, hopefully, before Sunday. Well, before the Super League, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an important one for you. How would you rate your summer? If you were to pull those deals off, both of them, what would you rate your summer out of 10?
I'd say about 8.5, 9 out of 10, I'd say. I mean, to be honest, I would like us to get, as long as we get a striker, in my opinion, and possibly and get rid of a few deadwood along the way, like Bakayoko, Drinkwater, kind of a lot of more players that aren't really being featured the same. Hopefully that'll be a good summer for us. I was going to come on your show last night about Lionel Messi. And my question was, do you think that this is all going to be a big financial play for Barcelona to try and both land Mbappe and Haaland, do you think?
Well, do you know what? One thing I said in the first stream about Messi leaving is, I think that they shouldn't have re-signed him anyway. I think that at 34 years of age, giving him and this is one of the things. Look, listen, would I love Man United to sign Messi for a couple of years? Yes, because in that short term, he could win you a Premier League title or two. But you do need to think about long-term planning. Giving Messi a new 3-year deal at 1.3 million euros a week, it's damaging the long-term aspiration, like the long-term element of the football club. Yeah. Especially when you've got like Griezmann on 700 grand a week and things like this. They need to reduce that wage bill. Messi's wages, I mean, this is the thing. Not signing Messi this is where Liverpool needs to be careful. Could they then just go on and sign Saul Niguez? I mean, you've got to think, on average, say they could then go and sign 4 players on 300 grand a week for what Messi was going to cost them, theoretically. So, and Messi's 34 years old. So there almost is the element of, I don't know who they're looking at, but they say they can now go and bring in 2 or 3 very talented young 20 to 25-year-olds on 200,000, 250,000 euros a week. They could bring in 5 players on an ongoing cost basis of what Messi's costing them. But in 3 years, 4 years time, Messi's going to be retired most likely anyway. So honestly, it's a real tough one. I don't think it's a power play, but I also think that it could end up being a good thing for Barca as long as the money starts to come back into La Liga. I think that's going to be key, Matt. Listen, mate, thank you very much for coming on and having your say. Man, thank you.
I just want to say thank you for. I just want to say a massive thank you to you, Terry, because if it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have had the confidence to come out on to do the Football Terrace. I also want to thank you too, because it's you giving me the confidence that's actually making me start my own YouTube channel. And I just want to say a massive thank you to you for that.
So it's another person to compete with me. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. I'm not doing football, bro. I'm not doing football, bro.
Listen. On a real level, hang on a minute here. Update just come in from Fabrizio. Lionel Messi and his father are waiting for PSG's official contract proposal to arrive this weekend in order to complete the agreement. Lionel Messi is open to accept. It's done. It's literally done. Fabrizio, in fairness, has just confirmed what Mohamed Basfari said yesterday. So there we go. But listen, listen, you want to do a football channel, you go do it and you go smash it, brother. Listen, speak to you soon, Matt. Top man. Take care. Thank you. Terry. Thank you. Yeah, Lionel Messi, we said it last night on the show. He's agreed to join PSG. They're just getting some loose ends tied up legally and with FFP to make sure it all works. Man like Sunshine's back with me now. Morning, mate. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm tired, but I'm good, man. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm kicking. You know it is. I'm here.
Absolutely. And happy Independence Day yesterday, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, man. It was. I was at work, to be fair. And I couldn't even post or do anything, man. I was working with some of the kids, doing some sports coaching, some summer camps. So,
sing.
Load of kids coming up to me going, "Oh, can you tie my laces? Can you tie my laces? Can you tie my laces?" I was like, "Yeah, no worries, go on."
Yeah, that takes that. No, I hear that, bro. Do you know it's mad as well? Like with things like Independence Day, obviously there's been no carnival now for a couple of years. Like when all the parties are allowed to really hit full flow again, once people are like, we're all fully out of lockdown. Like things are going to be mad, bruv. Like honestly, we've got Football Terrace meet up today. It's not even like a bad carnage. Like I'm just looking forward to letting my hair down out in public for the first time in like a year, 18 months. Like it's going to be a madness. You know what I'm saying, bruv? So it's going to be good times. What are you here to speak about today, my friend?
I'm just here to laugh at Chelsea, man, because bare Chelsea fans trying to come to me saying, "No, Man United have no chance of getting Haaland." I think you called it yourself as well, bro. Like I called it. If they don't get their man, i.e. Haaland, I'm guaranteed next season United will be a strong contender to get Haaland for obvious reasons. It's like Chelsea fans just couldn't hold that. I don't know what it is. They just can't hold that idea. They laughed at the idea that there's no way that United could get Haaland. There's just so many positive factors for United to be able to, one, compete financially and probably outspend in terms of wage demands, etc. Two, next season, I mean, it's a big if, so I don't really do too many ifs because it is what it is. It could go one way or the other. But respectfully, United, let's say we do have a positive season, you look at that team now and go, raw, next season, like, if I come into this team, maybe I could push them on even more. Do you know what I mean? And you've got Sancho; they'll have a standard connection already, which they've already got. Ollie, if he's still there, is a clear indication for Haaland to go raw. Ollie, you've actually got this team doing much better than when last time we spoke to you. Like, come on, 76 million. Who else is really going to have a chance? Man City won't be able to spend. Won't spend on Haaland. He would not go Man City. I don't see going Man City. I just can't. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't seem correct.
I'm in the same train of thought as you. I look at it. There's a few things for me. It's if they don't sign Kane, I think they've got a chance as an example. But I still think Kane is going to happen right now. I think it's going to happen. So if they sign Harry Kane, there's no other Premier League team that's going to get Haaland, in my view. Liverpool will not pay him the wages that he wants. You then look at Europe. You've got Barca, Real Madrid. I think by February, March, we will kind of have we'll know almost 90% where he's going. If La Liga is as bad as we all feel like it's going to be next year, if the financial situation hasn't been resolved, etc., you know, if Mbappe signs a new deal at Paris Saint-Germain or says he ain't like, do you get what I'm going? If one of these things happen, then Man United are shoo-in. But we've definitely got a major chance of getting him right now, and that's why, like, you know, there's a lot of reports that only PSG seriously went in for Messi. It's not strictly true. I spoke to people. All the big clubs made inquiries into their entourage around what he would want to be paid, and nobody wanted to do it. And this is where you do need to be mindful. £1 million a week is what he wanted in salary. I think some football clubs might have looked at Messi and thought, do you know what? Let's just not do that. Yeah, I'd rather, in fairness, if someone said to me now, if you've got £1 million a week to give someone in salary, I'd rather split that between Mbappe and Neymar than sign Messi, because there's 10 years of those players that can deliver for you. And I think that for me is where the focus should be. Like, whatever Messi's getting paid by PSG, I understand why they're doing it. Yeah. But long-term wise, why didn't you just offer that money to Mbappe to keep him?
Yeah, it makes sense.
In the longer term, I get the thing with it is, this is why they have to win the Champions League, because they're winning the domestic league anyway. Like, you're not signing Messi to help you win your domestic league if you're PSG. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like, for a Premier League club, signing, like, literally now, if Man United signed Messi this second, I would make his favourites to win the Premier League, because I think Messi would score 20 to 25 goals himself that would just win you so many points that you could do it.
Yeah.
But we've got a massive chance of getting Haaland next year. And I think anyone who, you know, the last 2 or 3 summers, especially this one, it should be the summer that ends the why would he go there argument, because there's so many transfers of just, you know, right, even down to small ones like Genie. Why would Genie go PSG? Dead league, Barca want him, the Ajax Barca connection, the this to that, the other, goes PSG. Varane will never pick Man United. He does. Lukaku's never going back to Chelsea. He does. You know, James Maddison would never want to leave Leicester for Arsenal. He does. Arsenal were just not able to get the deal done yet. Like, this should be the summer where Twitter put a ban on anybody that writes the words, why would so-and-so join X? It should be an instant Twitter ban. Do you know what I mean? Put it up there with any kind of it's just abusive to my ears to listen to that kind of stupidity now.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people don't understand what actually goes on behind the scenes. And because from a fan's perspective, and this is all fans, including myself and including you and every other rival fan and whatnot, we all have this innate ability just to focus on banter. And it's like kind of ingrained in our subconscious. So when we make footballing opinions, some of it comes from a banter perspective, i.e., Arsenal, you know, finish 8th or 10th or wherever they finished, the mid-table. Why on earth would he ever go there? And it takes out the logics of, well, why would that player not want to go play for one of the biggest clubs genuinely in the world? Yes, they weren't doing very well, but maybe that player would like to be part of a rebuild for that club. Maybe, you know, maybe one of his best players growing up was flipping Thierry Henry. You just don't know. And these are genuine logical factors that could filter into any player. You know, you look at Varane. Apparently, a lot of people saying he really loved Rio Ferdinand and he was a massive Man United fan. So, you know, even though people are saying then, why would Varane come to United? There's so many factors that are personal and sentimental to some of these players that they've grown up that just may be the club for them, regardless of where they are in the league or table. So, you know, I'm 100% with that one, bro. 100%.
No, I hear you. And I can always tell the difference between someone bantering and someone being. The problem is that too many people. It's a bit like with. I'll give you an example. Ransom Bants. If you literally read the tagline on his YouTube channel, it says it's all just bants. 90% of what he does it's not like he's not a clown. I'm not saying he's a clown. It's fun. Do you get what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like an opinion, but then it's like I'll throw in this curveball. I'm gonna say something a bit controversial. I'm gonna like, if you ever watched rants before he did football, it was politics. It was all like there was a central part of it that he meant, but it was for entertainment, like the kind of way he's an entertainer. He's like his brother expressions. They're comedic, they're funny, but it's when people take his jokes and they try and palm it off with real debate. I'm like, one, you sound like you're parroting him, but you're turning it into a serious argument. And as opposed to it's like taking a comedian's joke about politics and trying to run it as a real policy. Do you understand what I mean? That's where I get annoyed, because it's sort of like it was a joke, bro. He's having a laugh. Like you're taking it so serious. It's unbelievable. And it's crazy. Like, yeah, it's a madness to me, man. But yeah, it's good, mate. Honestly, this is shaping up with these signings. The Jack Grealish, it's shaping up to be such an exciting season, though, isn't it?
What's the thing on the Pogba thing? I mean, again, just to answer your question quickly. Sorry, I do think it's going to be a great season, especially for United. I'm still not convinced Ollie has the right coaches behind him and his own how can I put it? His own man management style to get us over the line. However, I do believe that people can change and people can self-reflect and go, raw, I actually need to do this more and go for it more. So I'm hoping those changes happen. If it does, I think United have a great season. But again, I think that's with a Pogba in the team. That was what I was going to ask you, really. With PSG going for Messi, Pogba going this summer is looking less likely. Now, is that a positive or a negative? I know my opinion, but I want to hear your thoughts on that. Is that a positive or a negative from a Man United perspective?
Paul Pogba staying is a positive every day of the week for me. And the major positive is this. I really trust every journalist I've spoken to this summer, Rob, Sasha, Pete, Dean, they've all said the same thing. Pogba's happy at the club. The relationship between him and Ollie is great. There's no Harry Kane situation going on here. Man, he's not going on strike. There's nothing bad about this situation. He's going to give. He's always going to play hard. I've always felt that him making a decision now for him as a person is wrong. And that's because his dream was Real Madrid, but they just may not be the best club for him because of the situation in La Liga. He loves being at Man United, but are we ready to win more league titles and Champions League, which he wants to achieve? PSG would seem like a very suitable place. But just like signing for Man United, if he goes to PSG now, he also never realizes his dream of going to Real Madrid. I think it's not great for Man United if we lose him, because we don't recoup any money. But I think there's almost this, what I would do, and this is a very risky decision, is say, right, let's convince, as a Man United standpoint, we can show you we're the place for you to remain. And I think if we start the season, I think if we have a really good first 2 or 3 months, and we can show both in the Champions League and domestically that we're competitive, I honestly think that we can convince Paul Pogba to stay. If Real Madrid have a resurgence and there's that one little missing piece in the midfield, it's going to be really hard to stop him. But you get where I'm coming from? There's almost this element of, I feel not sorry for Paul Pogba, but I empathize with his position. He sat there going, right, because he could go Real Madrid.
100%, yeah.
And it'd be an Eden Hazard situation where it just doesn't work. And then Man United go on to win a Premier League and Champions League in the next couple of years. And he's done a Philippe Coutinho and he's left behind. I know Coutinho's won those trophies, but he was a bench player. He wasn't a mainstay. He might have that. He could go to Paris Saint-Germain, win everything domestically, but no one cares about that because they're meant to, and win nothing in the Champions League. But Man United and Real Madrid go on to do brilliant things. Also, he could commit to Man United, and over the next 5 years, Real Madrid and PSG share 5 Champions Leagues between them. And he's like, why didn't I? Like, I can understand. It must be such a head fuck for him right now on what to do. I don't think a decision is going to be made by him until about December time. That's when I think we'll get his answers. But if he stays at Man United just for the season, it's a positive because he's the best midfielder in the world.
Yeah, I'm 100% with that. I mean, I was wondering what you were saying, but I'm pretty much on the same lines. And I think I look at a little bit of the hope for Man United is the fact that if we do, as you say, have a good start to the season, if we do show that we're competitive, he may then have, because I genuinely think one of his reasons for not signing isn't because he doesn't like Man United or the coaching and all this. I just genuinely think it's because he's coming to the end of his well, not end of his career, his prime years of his footballing career. He's probably got one big contract left, and I think he wants to go out and win some form of trophies. He's probably at the right club, but I think the fact that United haven't been as competitive as most fans would like, maybe that's one thing that's he's got on his shoulder. That's just a bit of a chip on his shoulder. Like, you know what I mean? I think if we can kill that little chip on his shoulder and just go, right, we're actually going to compete now. We're ready to actually come and give some actual, heat to the whole league and to the Champions League. We may go raw. I might actually sign here.
No, I agree. And we have to look at it from this thing. PSG are having to do a lot of work right now to ensure FFP is not breached by signing Messi. Can they then afford another £400,000 a week on top of that? I don't know if they can, because if they're having to get it checked, then it means they're close to the mark. If they're that close to the mark, another 400 grand a week is going to tip them over. So then they're going to have to move players on. And, PSG might just turn around to Pogba and say, we can't now. And then that makes it easier for Man United. What we've got to remember is he's happy at Man United. He loves it here. His relationship, like for all the faults with Ollie repaired any damage that Pogba and Man United had because of the Jose toxicity and everything. Like Ollie has repaired that, and they have a great relationship. One of the things I read or was told, one of the two about Ollie, is that him and Paul Pogba have never had cross words based on anything Mino Raiola has done, and that's because Ollie is a brilliant man manager. He doesn't. It's one of those things that I've had this with YouTubers where there's 2 or 3 guys that are actual friends, and one of them has been a bit of a dickhead to me. I don't take it out on his friends because it isn't their fault. Like, I talk to them normally still. Do you get where I'm coming from? And that's because whether people like me or not, if you actually get to know me personally, I'm quite genuine like that. And that's what Ollie is. He's genuine. I think with previous Man United managers, it's like, well, I can't get at Mino Raiola, so I'll take it out on his player instead. And it's like, well, that's not really fair. It's like, treat every man as an individual. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that, mate. Brother, I will speak to you soon.
Yeah, 100, man. And listen, enjoy your 18-month layoff tonight, man. Have one on me. I'm sorry I can't join you, man, but I've got to.
No worries.
I've got to compete, man. Got a competition today, so
not a problem, mate. Do what you got to do, brother.
We will link up. We will link up.
100%, mate. Listen, you look after yourself. Be safe, and I'll speak to you soon. Top man.
All right, bro. See you in a bit, yeah.
Thank you. Take care, bro. Thank you. Bit of connection issues there at the end. Daniel here of a super chat says Messi made about 160 million shirt sales at Barcelona. I read at PSG with their brand. I reckon he will make more. Is that revenue? It depends how much of that revenue actually goes to Barcelona. But of course, there's wonderful ways in which things can be worked on. But listen, everyone who's tuned in this morning, a massive thank you to each and every single one of you. I've got to go get ready now and shoot off to the Football Terrace meetup. I will be streaming again later today. With the one day I take off, you're probably going to get all the big breaking news while I'm having a day off, but I will be streaming later today. Until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again